Hello everyone, the Snowman here, and the 2021 NBA season is just around the corner now. It tips off Tuesday night, so today I've prepared my season preview. I've got my regular season standings, predictions, my playoff bracket, along with some awards projections at the end as well. Certainly a very quick turnaround. Seems like just yesterday we were watching the Lakers and the Heat battle in the finals, but here we are. Let's move on to the 2021 season. So let's start off with my regular season standings predictions. In the Eastern Conference, Milwaukee is my 1 seed. They'll be a contender for years to come with the recent extension of Giannis, 5 years, almost $230 million. The Bucks trading for Jrue Holiday too. No team has a higher over-under win total projection than Milwaukee at 49.5 wins. Remember, it is just a 72-game regular season this year. I love what Philly did this offseason, bringing in more shooting through Seth Curry and Danny Green. Should be more room for Simmons and Embiid to operate as Doc Rivers takes over his 4th team as a head coach. I've got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown leading the Celtics to the 3 seed. Brooklyn is captivating because they might have the highest ceiling in the East. The only question is, will they manage KD and Kyrie more cautiously as both are coming off injuries? Great news, though, so far. KD has shown signs that he can return to his old form this year. He's looked great in the preseason. The Wizards are another fun team because of the fresh blood. Russell Westbrook is in, and when you have him, you have a tone setter every single night of the season. He's made an All-NBA team every year the past 10 years, except for 2014 when he was hurt. You pair him with the future superstar and Bradley Beal, a man who poured in over 30 points a game last season. They should take a huge leap. Of course, I expect the defending Eastern Conference champs Miami Heat to be back in the playoffs as well. We're all excited to see what Jimmy, Bam, and everyone does as an encore this year. Bovada has them at plus 1,800 to win the whole thing. Here are the rest of the title odds. At number 7, I do see the Hawks making the playoffs. I love what they did, adding Danilo Gallinari, Bogdanovic, and Rondo. They're going to be so explosive offensively. Might be a top 3 team in terms of offensive efficiency. I just don't know how they're going to guard anybody. And then the Raptors will lay claim to the final playoff spot in the East. They still have that championship pedigree. Really quickly then, as for my non-playoff teams in the East, I'm big on the Bulls this year, especially their backcourt of Zach LaVine and Kobe White. They've got some professional bucket getters, but I still see them a couple of years away from making the playoffs. Maybe I'm shortchanging Indiana, but they did fire coach Nate McMillan, and honestly, it'd just be more entertaining if the Hawks got in the playoffs over them. Magic at 11, Pistons at 12. A lot of buzz with LaMelo Ball and the Hornets. Ball already looks like one of the best passers in the game. His vision is special, but they are a long ways away as well. And then bringing up the rear in the East, I've got the Cavaliers and the poster child for disappointing basketball in the 21st century, the New York Knicks. Over in the Western Conference, the Nuggets will grab the 1 seed. Jamal Murray made me a believer last postseason. Denver just might have 2 bona fide superstars with he and Jokic. Maybe they lost a little bit of depth over the offseason with the departures of Grant, Craig, and Plumlee, but I like their draft picks, and I'm hoping we get to see plenty more of Bol this season. Not much to say about the Lakers. We know how good they are. LeBron will probably coast through the regular season. Anthony Davis will shoulder the heavy lifting, along with their new supporting cast. Montrezl Harrell, Dennis Schroeder, Marc Gasol have all been looking good in the preseason. Then at 3, the Clippers, despite their 3-1 choke in the playoffs, it's still a loaded roster. Kawhi and Serge Ibaka are reunited, and for what it's worth, Paul George says, quote, "I'm back with my trainer that I had for my MVP season. I'm locked in," end quote. So that's news to me because I didn't realize PG ever had an MVP season, but I digress. Maybe my craziest prediction is putting the Suns at number 4, but Chris Paul took a Thunder team and over-exceeded expectations last year. Devin Booker was hotter than the sun in the bubble. He averaged 31 points on 50% shooting, 94% from the free throw line as the Suns went 8-0, and they have good 3-and-D guys on the wings. I firmly believe that Phoenix makes the playoffs for the first time since 2010. Dallas is another bandwagon a lot of folks are jumping on right now. Luka won't have to do as much defensively with the addition of Josh Richardson to the backcourt, and nobody has better MVP odds than Doncic at plus 300. Fingers crossed that Porzingis stays healthy the entire year. Just like Phoenix, the Trailblazers displayed incendiary form in the bubble this summer. Injuries, though, caused them to limp to the finish line, but Damian Lillard has a really solid crew around him now. They added Robert Covington and Derek Jones, making their win total projection 41.5. These are the rest of the over-under win totals for the 2021 season. The Warriors are the ultimate wild card to me because we haven't seen them at full strength in over a year and a half. Unfortunately, no Klay Thompson, who's out all year with an Achilles tear. Their bench is weak, but I do believe believe there's enough talent in Steph and that starting five to reach the playoffs. And my final playoff team in a loaded Western Conference is the Utah Jazz. Their star Donovan Mitchell recently agreeing to a 5-year, nearly $200 million extension. It's a shame there's only 8 playoff teams because the West has a superfluous amount of good teams. I know there's a mini play-in tournament this year like there was last season, but 9 through 12 all have a ton of potential. When San Antonio missed the playoffs last year, that was the first since 1997. The Grizzlies are a menacing team of the future led by 2020 Rookie of the Year Ja Morant. Part of the reason I have the Rockets so low is it's tough to imagine James Harden staying in Houston all season. They're shopping him, but if he does, they'll absolutely be another playoff contender. New Orleans has so many young, exciting pieces, but again, I could see 12 teams making it in. It's just a matter of too much talent in the West. The Timberwolves are the youngest team in the entire league. Their time isn't here yet, and I've got low expectations for both the Kings and the Thunder. So now let's shift to my playoff predictions, and staying in the West, I've got a reprise of Nuggets Jazz in the 1-8 matchup. Murray and Donovan ascending into a new level during their epic duel last year. Nuggets in 6th there. Maybe the most fun series of my first round projection, Phoenix versus Dallas. Two very similar teams that are extremely guard-centric. Luka versus Booker, Porzingis versus Ayton. The Mavs set a new NBA record in terms of offensive efficiency last year. This would be a salivating matchup. Give me Dallas in 6. A fun storyline in the 3-6 series. There's a whole lot of trash that was talked last season between Paul George, Pat Beverly, and Damian Lillard. Clippers versus Blazers. I think it'll be LA waving goodbye to Dame Dalla and company in 7 games. And for the 2-7, I like the Lakers to knock out Golden State. Maybe this is just the LeBron fan in me wanting a chance for Bron to sweep the Warriors like they swept him and his hapless Cavalier teammates back in 2018. But get your brooms out for that one. Nuggets and Mavericks in the conference semifinals. This could be a showdown between the two teams that run the West for the next decade. Dallas will be better on D this year. So much length now. Their shortest starter is 6'5". I think Luka will lead the Mavs to the conference finals. Get the upset there. Back to the other side, we finally get our battle for LA with the 2-3 matchup. It's a series we all want to see. The Clippers signed Serge Ibaka for a series like this. They got gouged by Jokic last year, but I still don't think it's enough. Shannon Sharp voice, Lakers in 6. And then the West Finals, ESPN and the networks will love this series between LA and Dallas. The best player of the last 12 years against maybe the best player of the next 12. Not yet for the Mavs, though. Too much experience for the Lakers. They'll get by in 5. And then in the East, the quick 1-8 series. Who knows if Toronto will become sellers midway through the season and trade a guy like Kyle Lowry. Either way, Milwaukee rolls here. 4-5, it would be extremely enjoyable to get this Durant versus Westbrook showdown. Brooklyn versus Washington would prove to be a star-studded affair, but the Wizards don't quite have the muscle on the wing to stifle KD in any way. I've also got a rematch between the Miami Heat and Boston Celtics. Last year, I thought the difference was Jimmy Butler's ability to close games with clutch shooting or getting to the free throw line. I think they'd be the slight favorite in this matchup, but players like Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson have to improve defensively because we know Tatum's going to be in attack mode. The last first-round series end, Philly versus Atlanta. I'll take the 76ers in 5 as Trae Young gets his first taste of the postseason, all that extra attention that'll be paid to him in a best-of-7 series. Giannis versus KD in the conference semifinals, Bucks versus Nets. My only concern for Brooklyn is can they get to this stage healthy and in one piece? I want to pick the Nets because I believe in their ceiling, but Milwaukee is the safer pick despite their playoff ineptitudes of recent times. Bucks in 7, and then Philly takes care of their ex-star Jimmy Buckets and the Heat below. I just think the 76ers are on a mission this season. New coach in Doc Rivers, who's got all the experience in the world, better spacing on the floor, and if Simmons and Embiid can both stay healthy the whole year, I think they triumph all the way to the finals. They have the personnel to build a wall around Giannis, a top 10 defense from last year. Young rookie Tyrese Maxey has earned nothing but praise so far. I think he's going to bring a lot to the table, and I just like how it's not Brett Brown's offense anymore. They won't be as predictable with Doc, so I'll take the Sixers in 6 games. And then my 2021 NBA Finals prediction, Lakers over the 76ers in 6. LA's title odds are the best at around plus 200 and getting better every day. And it's not often the defending champs add more talent over the offseason, but that's what happened. I see Bron getting that 5th ring and cementing his greatness as a Laker. More paradise in La La Land. And wrapping up with some quick awards then, my MVP for this year is Anthony Davis. I said it before, LeBron is going to coast through the regular season. This is the shortest turnaround in NBA history for the Lakers. just 71 days between Game 6 of the finals and opening night. So the old man needs his rest. In turn, AD going to put up some monster stats. Defensive Player of the Year, Ben Simmons. He can guard positions 1 through 5. Led the league in steals last year. Rookie of the Year, LaMelo Ball. So often this award comes down to who gets the most playing time. And LaMelo should average 30 minutes on a very mediocre Charlotte team. His dazzling passes will be exponentially shared on social media, giving Ball too much hype not to claim this award. Most improved, DeAndre Ayton. This is the one I'm most confident about. It's going to be spoon feed city for Ayton. His efficiency will go through the roof, playing with two of the best creators in the game in Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Sixth man of the year, I'll take Jordan Clarkson, and I've got the Nuggets as my 1 seed in the West, so we'll give the 2021 Coach of the Year to Mr. Mike Malone. And please leave a comment. Let me know what you agree with or disagree with about my season preview. Please, if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media for more basketball content. Follow me on Instagram at @SnowmanSports. And thanks a lot for watching. See you soon. Cheers.